Next, we are moving to lovely UK, our home turf. We're going to talk about a band called Outergods. They're a 5-piece blackened death metal band from the UK. Their album is called Dethroned and Devoured, and it's actually released on the 13th of June through Apocalyptic Witchcraft. Next, we are moving to lovely UK, our home turf. We're going to talk about a band called Outergods. They're a 5-piece blackened death metal band from the UK. Their album is called Dethroned and Devoured, and it's actually released on the 13th of June through Apocalyptic Witchcraft. So we talked about this band's first record on the show a while back, a few years, and I remember that one of the things that we kind of flagged up the most coming out of this sort of blackened death metal sound was actually there was a lot of like big chunky hardcore moments that really stand out and gave it a nice vibe alongside what was going on. It was quite brutish. It was quite sort of, thugged out. It probably is. If it was personified, it would probably wear like a tank top, but that has been usurped on this new record by something altogether way more kind of chaotic and swirling. And this Blackened Death tornado has sucked me in. This is a cool record, and this is such a huge step up for this band.
Yeah.
Like the leveling up from record to record by this band is freaking gigantic.
Yeah, it's massive, mate. It's proper sick Blackened Death riffs coming at you like bloody sides. And then this sort of ruinous industrial texture that sort of just churns everything. And it adds this really cool element. It's really, really bloody razor sharp, this record. Like it's bleak, it's dark, it's chaotic, and it's fucking fantastic, mate. Like this band is like swinging for the fences on this thing. And like they're like a relatively small band. Like this is, man. I'm surprised how fucking ridiculously good this thing is.
Isn't it? Like these guys have got ideas way above their station when it comes to what they're doing here, and I love that. Like, I love the fact that they've really gone for it, and they've created something on this album that's so much more sort of cerebral. And in the notes of the press release we got, they mentioned that one of the influences is Hate Eternal, and I hear so much like extra sort of dissonance and chaos coming through, and I think it just kind of creates an atmosphere. And I know I don't want to speak ill of riffs. I don't want to ever speak ill of riffs. Obviously, riffs are the lifeblood. But I think riffs are kind of an easy way to provoke a reaction. And what these guys have done here is more just sort of sonic terrorism. And I love that about it. Like it's just an album that, when you're in a pub and someone drops a glass and everybody in the pub turns around and goes, ugh! Like it's just an instant reaction. This is just an album that just does that constantly. It's just everything is like what was that? Like it becomes kind of scary. And then there's a few times when they really lock in, and it's like the waiter dropped 4 whole main courses on your head. And all of them were beef. Everybody ordered the beef.
It was all beef.
All beef, man. Nothing but beef. It was a Sunday. But this metaphor's got away from me a little bit. But basically what I'm trying to say is it's so like swirling and chaotic and like confusing and confounding, but in like the best way, which going from a band who are like quite riff based with quite cool like fast death metal-y parts to doing something like this that sounds like a band who, you're into like Ulcerate territory with what's going on this record, and you think like Ulcerate have been like the only death metal band in New Zealand playing for like 20 years together, and this is this band's second record, and I don't even know that I've seen them like tour the country. Like by all intents and purposes, they're essentially like the best local band in their area, and to come out with an album that's as good as this one is just, it's a piss take basically.
Yeah, it's funny because for like how sort of intense and like this sort of chaotic level that the industrial textures sort of add,
yeah,
it also has this really just like just cool, stompy riffing, good time, like golden era Carcass type shit, where it's like it's just a fucking lovely time to be listening. Like it's like sort of remember that band Video Nasties, that's the one I'm thinking of. That very sort of similar, just sometimes just stomps along, just like rocky, like it's got so much going on, and then it like snaps into like proper like D beat black metal, and like with all these like mechanical textures, and like it's proper nightmare business.
Man, there's so many great ideas. Like Sparagmos was basically a 3-minute circle pit. Like I reckon you listen to that song once a month and you could probably cancel your gym membership. Like it just goes and it goes, and you think it might stop going, but no, it goes again. Like it's so cool. Celestial Heretic has these kind of like squealy guitar parts where it's almost like Carbon wrote a death metal song. Like it's very cool. The Sleepless Malice has like a kind of almost like a Behemoth kind of vibe to it. Like it's got a bit of a sick face melter on the go in there as well, which is really cool. I also love
Sprawling Chaos.
Yeah, man.
Like that, you had to get in. Who else better than to get in on a track called Sprawling Chaos than the chaotic heartthrob that is Chad Kappa.
Oh,
like they conjured him. Just certified Dreamboat on the track, killing it.
I thought it was really cool to hear him on a different style, because usually people who get Chad to do a guest vocal kind of are some sort of variation of what Frontiera do, and it's really interesting to hear him do a different style of extreme in this, like definitely. As a guest on this in this band's song. Like I found that really interesting to kind of play against type a little bit for a guest spot. Very cool.
And the final track, mate, Mausoleum at the Edge of Time, is so sick. It starts off like a Nile track, which is absolutely sick. It's not, but instead of a pyramid, it's like a castle on fire or something. It's just all grandeur, no mercy, and then it like builds into this sort of triumphant, sort of crazy black metal crescendo. It's fantastic, mate. Like you say, like the ideas are just far above their station on this record. It's a proper banger.
This is a special one that I feel like could accidentally fly under the radar a bit, because the band have maybe not got the biggest profile in the world, and that would be a real shame. This is one that I really strongly recommend everyone who's listening to us right now goes and checks out. Like, you've probably heard Rivers, you've probably heard Turnstile, but I don't know that you will have heard Outergods, and you should. You need to make it a priority. Dethroned and Devoured by Outergods. Check it out. It is sick.